I'm Tom Layson, and this is a Northwest Now Digital Extra. Seattle has a lot of transportation priorities to juggle, everything from traffic to construction to pedestrian safety and bike routes. Traffic safety has been a problem in Seattle for at least a decade, and as Northwest Now contributor Steve Kiggins tells us, all the high-minded ideals that brought us everything from rental bikes to the loss of lane miles aren't really what's resonating with the people he spoke with. They are focused on safety.
Back in 2015, Seattle launched its Vision Zero campaign aimed to eliminate all pedestrian and cyclist deaths by the year 2030. Now, voters also approved the Move Seattle levy, which would pay for, in part, improvements to infrastructure to make travel would be safe for everyone. And while some believe SDOT's made a lot of progress, others say not quite so much. In fact, earlier in February, an 80-year-old woman crossing the street here was struck by a hit-and-run driver. West Marginal Way Southwest along the Duwamish River sees about 15,000 vehicles each day, and most are big rigs.
And it's supposed to be 30 miles an hour.
But it's not just heavy industry here. There's a small neighborhood and multiple parks line the river's shore.
It used to be 40, and people do 50, 60, and then now they cut it down to 30, and if you slow down to 30, people are flying by it.
Seattle DOT says cutting the southbound lanes from 2 down to 1 decreases speeds by 12% in some parts. And an on-street protected bike lane closes what the agency calls a crucial gap for the city's walking and biking network.
I also want to take a moment to think about why we're talking about these issues, about the bike program.
In early February, the Move Seattle Levy Oversight Committee discussed SDOT's progress, finding the agency has finished 60 of the proposed 110 miles of new bike lane projects. Since Vision Zero's launch, 1,200 people navigating Seattle streets without a car were injured in a crash. At least 175 have died. City data shows from 2019 to 21, 44% of all fatal and serious pedestrian and cyclist crashes happened in Seattle's South Side in Council District 2. One of the latest victims was an 80-year-old woman. The crash happened on a Capitol Hill neighborhood arterial under construction.
She was hit and killed, and I want that to be at the top of mind when we talk about these projects, because that's really what we're talking about. We're talking about safety for everyone.
Most of the vehicles are like that, big trucks.
Some industrial workers wonder if bikes and big rigs should mix.
I think it's an asinine idea to put a bicycle lane where traffic should be mixing bicycles with commercial trucks.
It's better than being on the open road.
But cyclists have a right on our roadways. Riders insist investments in safety is a two-way street.
Even just having a dedicated painted lane with room between you and traffic will save lives. There's no question.
It was still light outside when this crash happened. Surrounded by bystanders, they ran to this woman's aid, including an off-duty SPD officer who gave her CPR. She was loaded into an ambulance. She was transported to the hospital, where she later died. For Northwest Now, I'm Steve Kiggins.
To see our full discussion with Seattle's new transportation director, be sure to look in the Northwest Now digital section of kbtc.org. Northwest Now airs Friday nights at 7:30 right here on KBTC. And be sure to look for more digital stories like this one by following us on Facebook and Twitter at Northwest Now.